Okay, so let's get started now. So let me go to Visual Studio. Okay, that is 2019. So let me start a project, a new one. This time I'm going to choose another console, but I'm going to choose Windows Home.net. Oh, sorry, I'm sorry. Let me share my screen. Thank you for reminding me that. Let me share my screen. So I'm going to open my Windows Home application for today. Click on next. And let me name it Air again. Let me save inside a folder. Select this folder. Yeah, this is recorded. This is being recorded. Don't worry. Many of them are not being able to attend because of electricity issues. Okay, so the screen. I think the screen is visible, right? Okay. So let me get started. Let me just make it smaller. I don't need the biggest screen for today. Okay, so it's coming. I'll just name this as collect air again. Start position in the center of the screen. Let me change the font. That's fine. And what I want today here is I just want to have a list box here. Let me just minimize everything first and I'll show you what I am trying to do over here is let me have a container and let me have the good dots. Actually, where is that list box? Let me have a text box now. Let me have a button here. So let me name all this control. So the LB content, this one is txt value, this one is btn add, and this one is lvl score, for example. Okay, so we just did something. Let us make it more attractive. We can change color whatever you want here. Different color. All right. So let me make it very simple, everyone. What I'm trying to do is so once I pass on a value here, so let's say Ram, Sam, Hari, couple, whatever. If I do add to list, the value should be listed out here into this list box. And once it reaches 10 value, then you should be no longer be able to add the value here. Okay, and at the same time, the value has to be stored in some area of the arrow list. So let me see what I'm trying to do, everyone. So let me get started now. So we have this add to list box here, and this is the LB content. So let me double click on this LB list box here, and whatever the value that I supply from this text box, actually what I want here is, okay, let me show you what I'm trying to do here. So I just want that LB content.items.add should be txt value.txt. What is happening out here is, for example, let's say I entered something called Ram add to list, Sam add to list, Hari add to list, Gopal add to list, Suraj add to list, Manish add to list. So how many I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's say Manisha add to list, Google add to list, Avinav add to list, Roman also add to list. So I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 values are there. Let me just increase the font size for this level. What I can do is I can increase the font size for this level. Okay, it's fine. So here what I am trying to do out here is, let's say, so let me just do one thing. Txt value dot here once I do this. So let's say we are again adding list. Let me just do one thing. Again txt value dot focus. I do not have to then move my cursor. Ram, Sam, Hari, Gopal, Manish, Suresh, Abhinav, Yugal, let's say Numan, let's say Seema, Supriya, and whatever else. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There are 11 elements. Actually, I don't want more than 10 value to be inserted here. Okay, I just want the value to be only 10 value to be written here. And once I am adding 10 value, so this should be disabled, and you'll be given a certain time for, let's say, 10 second and a 20 second. You'll review all this value that you have written, and after that this value will disappear. This value will disappear, and what you will do, you will again tap this value, and you will try to match what was the value before, what was the value after you have written, and the total number of match will be your score. Now are you getting my point, everyone? What you did, you just added value here. After a certain time this will disappear, and you have to enter it again, and we will try to match the previous value and the new value, and the total match of the previous value and the new value will be your score. So did you get my point, everyone? Did you understand this now? Did you understand what I am trying to do? Okay, so this is my major objective for today's session. Okay, in fact I might not be able to do it today, but we'll take it to the next session again. Okay, you might, this is not really easy as you think, but we'll just try to implement the concept of array list and a list and some additional controls over to the Windows form. Now I need to control, I can add only 10 elements here. Just I want to add only 10 elements here. So how can I do that? So I can do that by using, let's say, so I just want to check, I want to create a variable. Let me create a variable here, integer count equals to 0, and every time a new value is added, for example, I'll increase the value of count by 1, and if count equals to 10, what will happen is we'll just tell btn add dot enable equals to false. So now no more value can be added if count equals to 10. Okay, so I think you'll be okay. So 0 to 10. Okay, so if it is 10 value, then you won't be able to add a value further. Let us try this work, everyone. Let's try to add value. Let's say bottle, telephone, mobile. I'm just putting whatever I like. Book, staple, and then what I have, let's say I have router, I have a photo, I have a mask here, let's say I have, let's say, what else, let's earth, Jupiter, and once this is 10 item, now see this is disabled. You cannot add any further value over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 values are there. Okay, so after 10 value, let's say I cannot add more further values here. And once this is done, let's say after 10 seconds, these all values will disappear. For example, timers will start and these all values will disappear. So let's say we want to have a timer here. So before that, let's say I have a variable called counter. Okay, let me just take this variable. Let me name it to counter, and let's start with 0. This is 0. So after 10 seconds, this will disappear, for example, let's say. And let me name this to counter. Let me name this variable to counter. LVL counter, that's it. Now once I have named this to counter, now let me just, I need to logic through which I just need to count for 10 seconds. Or let's say for particular time I just need to iterate through. I just need to increase from 1 to 10. Let me see how can I do that. So before that, let me go to designer, and let me go to toolbox and let me have a timer. The timer, let me search here. Let me have a timer control here. Okay, I have a timer here. Let me go to the property of this timer and interval I want to set for, let's say, 1000 seconds. So that means 1 second. Okay, and this has to be enabled to true. Okay, this is enabled to true. That means once I tick this, this will start. Now let's click on the tick event of this timer. So here I just want to have lbl counter.text equals to counter. Let's have a counter variable. I think did I define counter? No, let me define a counter variable. Counter equals to 0, and let me have a counter plus plus. So after every 1 second, the value of counter will be increased by 1. So let's see what I'm trying to do over here. See, this is working like a counter. So okay, now let us try to analyze this part here. So first of all, this should not be enabled. So what I can do, whenever the form loads, this should not be enabled. So timer one dot enable equals to false. Okay, I just want timer one. Okay, let me just go on to the form load event first, and thus I can make timer one. So this should not be enabled first. Let's run. So value is not increasing. This will be enabled when? This will be enabled once I have this 10 value inserted out here. So let's see how you can do that here. So in order to do that, we have, let's say, if counter equals to 10, this is disable, and now here I want to enable timer. And once this is enabled, your counter will start working and this count will increase by 1 every time. Now let's see again what is happening here. So let's say any value, 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 any value. And you see counter started. But I want the counter to be of only 10 seconds or 15 seconds. You need to remember everything. So let's say I assign a time of 15 seconds. So here I can check now. If counter is double equals to 15, then again what I will do, I just want to clear my lbl counter.items.clear. Sorry, not counter. lb, what was it? List box content.items.clear. I do not want to have anything here, and I want to stop the counter. So in order to stop the counter, what I can do is I can just do timer one dot, okay, this timer one dot enable equals to false. So this will stop now in every 10 seconds. So let's this everyone. Let me run and check. Let me put some value. put 10 value, counter will start it. Yes, so value got disappeared, and this is stopped. Right, this is stopped now. Now this is a very simple logic here, everyone. What I did, I think you might have many questions here. How the things are going on around here? How is it happen? How is it possible? You can make a question here, everyone. Definitely your doubt is right here. So before I just make a judgment about your doubt, so please let me know any query that you have till now. I hope you might be having questions here, everyone. Yes, okay, no problem. No problem at all. Okay. So let me explain you this all again. So what we try to do is, our objective is to have some content here, 10 content here that will be coming from this text box on this button click. Once you have 10 content, then this should be disabled, and we want this counter to be start by 1, and when it reaches 15, then this all content should disappear. And now we want this to be enabled, and again we want to pass all this value to this list box, and we want to compare the previous value and the current value, and we want to check what is the number of match, and will be our score will be the total number of matches that we have done. So this was our major objective, everyone. So for that, what we do, we took a list box, we took a text box, we took a button, we took a label, we took a we took a variable here, and the most of them all we took a timer. We took a timer control here. Okay. So what we have done here, under this list box click, I am adding items provided by the text box to the list box. So lb content.items.add, what this will do, whenever you click on the button, the items will be added to the list box. And once the item is added, text box is being clear, and the cursor will go on to that text box. And what I am doing in this case is I am increasing the value of count, because I just want the 10 value to be inside my what you call in my list box. So initial value of count is 0, so count value will increase by 1 every time a value is added. And once this value is 10, then your button is enabled, button is disabled, so you can have only 10 value. Now since the button is disabled here, since the button is disabled, what we want to start this counter from 1 to 15. Now in order to start this counter from 1 to 15, we have already taken a timer here. And what we have done with the timer we have set the interval to 1000, that means 1 second. That means this will, under every 1 second something should happen, and what should happen in 1 second, I have mentioned it here. So every 1 second the counter variable should increase by 1, and that should be shown in a counter level. That means every 1 second the value of the counter will increase by 1, and if this counter variable value is now equal to 15, then I am clearing my list box. And again, once I'm able to do that, now no more counting should be done, so timer is disabled now. So that's what I've done, timer 1 enabled equals to false. Okay, and since I have already enabled the timer here, so when the form loads, I just want to disable the timer, so that when the form loads, the timer should not be enabled. That's why I have timer 1 enabled on the form load. Okay, so this is what we have done up to now, everyone. So are you clear with the stuff now, everyone? So did you understand what we have done? So did you did you get the things that you have done? Just please let me by writing yes, no. because until and unless you won't do, you won't be able to get this stuff. So let me just do one thing. Let me finish this, and then you try it on your own. Okay. So let's get to the further point here, everyone. Now let's come to the implementation of the area or the error list here. So let me come back to the implementation of the error list. So let me create an error list here, and then let me have an error list, custom error list. So for that I need a system.collections. Let me define the error list. Let's say data equals to new error list. So this is my error list. And every time a value is added to this list box, the value should be also added into the list box. So data.add txt value.text. That's it. Very simple concept. So data.add txt value.text. That's it. Very simple. Now this values have been added. Now once this value is added into the list box, let's say into the list as well. Now what we want to do here is, let's say we start, let's say I put a Ram, Sam, Hari, Gopal, Manish, Suresh, book, bottle, telephone, diary. Okay, so once I am writing this 10, so this is also added to the error list. Project your mic please. Okay. Now once this reaches 15, again this should be enabled, and I should be able to pass the old value here, and we'll make a comparison with our the value stored in the error list. And the total, if we are matching these all elements, then your for every match your value score should increase by 1. So total score would be 10, and let's see how much score you get. So did you get my point, everyone, what I'm trying to do? Now again after 15 this should be enabled, and I should be able to rewrite the value here, and I will see how many match has been done, and we will see for every match the value will be, the score will be increased by 1. So let's see this, everyone. So again let me go to a QQ code event, and now I have to check if this is 15. If this is 15, then what I have to do is BTN should be enabled. So this is enabled again, and I should pass the value here. So I have a BTN data here, and let us have again another variable, error list, again new error list, new data equals to new error list. So again, what we want to do in this case is, we want to add the value here, but we already have it here. See, now there is a problem here. Now we have a serious problem here. For example, let's say the process would repeat again here. So let's create a function first, and then we'll call the function. Let's create a function before. Oh, sorry, I have not teach you function. Sorry, I'm sorry. If we had function, then then I would have easily done this. Now the problem begins here. For example, count equals to 10, then we are doing this. And now let's do one thing, everyone. So now let's make count equals to 0. And if count equals to 0, then again we'll repeat this process, everyone. We'll do this. So actually, I think I'm not able to do that very perfectly, but let's see, because once we had a function, we would have done it, made it much better. If count equals to 0, then again we are going to add the value. But this time again, I'm not checking whether value is 10 or something. Okay, let us see even if it is 10 or not. Okay, so that's it. And here instead of data, I just want to have the value inside a new data. So let me see what value is type new data. Okay, it's a new data. Sorry. New data dot value is added into the new data. And I can make sure here is so we had some difficulty. Okay, let's see. So everything is added to the new data, and but let us try to run this and see what exactly is happening out here. Let me add some dummy value. So you can see again I'm having some space and everything because this is all being checked. And this is checking if count equals to 0 and something like that is happening out here. So I'm having an issue here, everyone. So actually I cannot do this directly. I need to apply some logic here. Some special logic is to be applied. So let me do one thing, everyone. So instead of doing this like this, let me have other way around. Instead of doing this, now again let me have this one. Let me have one more button. That would make sense. And I would call it re-add to list box. Re-add to list box. Okay. So on the re-add, I am just going to call this one. Not written option. Here I just want to copy this much, in fact this much. Control C and let me paste it here. So what I am trying to do is I'm adding the value, but this time I'm not going to enable the timer or anything. So I'm just making it like this. btn re-add list box is enabled to false. So let me try to see what I'm trying to do. So data, instead of data, I have a new data. I'm adding it to the new array list. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J. It's done. Now let the counter begin. I'll show you some more logic here if you want. It's just a matter of time. Now under re-add to list, let me say again, I put A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, and J. And under once these all are done, once this is 10, again this will be disabled, and then it should give you the total score here. So let's see how we can do that now. Again, I can make it here. If it was 10, then now here is a small problem here, everyone. So basically, I need to make your counter 0. Once everything is done, and not here, sorry, not here. I just need to make if counter equals to 10, then I'll set it to 0 now. So that again this will be disabled. So let me again try this again. And let me make it very quick. Let us go to, again, I think there is some logic is to be applied, otherwise I just wanted to skip this one. We'll have to apply some logic through it. Once this is flipped in, then only one of them should be enabled. So let's have something. And now it's disabled. And now it should give you the total score here. So let's see how we can have a total score here. So I just need to check the total score. I think I'm here. So I need to make a comparison, everyone. I just need to make a comparison. So how to make a comparison is that I just will check a new data and old data. I just can make if new data count, because the count is increasing every time a new is added, is double equals to data and again count. In that case, what I can do is I can increase the LBL score. So let us have one score variable here. And now let us try to increase this score variable. Okay, if this is so, then score plus plus, and I can say LBL score dot text equals to score dot string. The score will be displayed in this fashion. So we are using the arrow list here. So make a comparison. So let me just check how it looks. A, B, C, D, E, F, E, H, I, and J. Okay, it's done. Let me wait for 15 seconds. I'll just use this logic to enable and disable these text boxes and buttons. Okay, now again have A, add to list box. There's error. So index was out of range, must be a non-negative less than the size of the collection paradigm. Okay, there is, I'm having an issue here, everyone. So let me see what is the problem. So what happened here is new data that count is not equal to data. So let me just fix this issue, everyone. So why is it that happening out here? So let me just increase this count here below of this one. Control V here. And by the way, count value we have initialized to 0 here if count equals to 10 here. So let me try this once again and let me see if there is an error. Let's wait for 15 seconds. Okay, now let's add it again. Still there is an issue, everyone. Oh, sorry, because I'm adding it here, that's why there is a problem. So let me just run it again, and I was having an issue. Let me just do it again. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, and J. So let me wait for 15 seconds and let us try to this one again. So let's again do A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, and J. You can see that the score is not increasing. Maybe there are some issues here. So let's see what is the issue. So related the items, value, so that is initially J, count is increased by 1. So we need to iterate to each and every value we want. So let's do one thing. Let's stop it here and then we'll continue on this project from tomorrow again. Will that be okay to you, everyone? I knew it. I will not be able to finish this for today. So I just have some time for tomorrow for this. So tomorrow we'll just try to fix whatever the issues we have. Will that be okay to you, everyone? So let's do that tomorrow. Will that be okay? Can you please quickly confirm, everyone? Yeah, I'll just send you once within an hour, okay? I just need to have my lunch and then after an hour I can send you yesterday's video and today's video as well, okay? Okay, so I'll catch you tomorrow, everyone. We'll try to solve these issues again for whatever had happened today. So have a good day, everyone.